He's dialing now.
Mooncat, are you going to answer the telephone?
The telephone bell hasn't rung yet.
Oh, sorry. Ring, ring.
Oh,
Ring, ring.
that sounds like the telephone.
Ring, ring. Ring, ring. Ring, ring.
Ring, ring, ring.
Ring, ring.
Ring, 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 ring.
Mooncat, are you ever going to answer the phone?
Oh, I'm in the bath. The telephone always rings when you're in the bath.
Mooncat. Ring, ring.
Oh, all right then. Hello. Hello.
Hello, I'd like to speak to Mooncat, please.
I'm sorry, he's gone out.
Oh, Mooncat, don't tease.
I was only teasing. Here I am. Mooncat speaking. Who's that?
This is Stephen.
Oh.
I've got something to tell you.
Yes? What?
The telephone engineer will be calling to install a telephone today. That means put one in your house.
Oh, but I've already got a telephone. I wouldn't be speaking to you on the telephone if I didn't have a telephone, would I?
Yes, but that's a pretend telephone,
Oh.
isn't it? This is going to be a real one.
Oh, is it? Oh, well, good. Well, when will he be coming?
Any time now.
Oh, well, I'd better go and look out for him then, hadn't I? I can't stay here talking to you all day. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Come on, let's go and look for him
Yes,
together.
let's look for him. All right. If the telephone rings when I'm gone, will you answer it for me, please, Robert?
Leave it to me.
Thank you very much.
I wonder who he's expecting a telephone call from.
Oh, why doesn't he come?
I'm sure he'll be here soon, Mooncat.
Oh, come along, come along. Hey, there's policewoman Pat.
Ooh,
She's got her uniform.
Hello.
Hello.
Were you looking for someone?
Yes, we were waiting for the telephone engineer.
Oh, I didn't know you had a telephone.
We haven't, but we will have soon. The engineer's coming to, what's that word, Stephen?
Install.
Oh, yes, install. The engineer's coming to install a telephone. That means put one in.
And where is he going to put the telephone?
Over here.
Yes, the people who owned the shop before us must have had a telephone because there's a socket just down there by the counter.
Oh, yes. Well, that won't take the engineer very long to stick a new telephone in there, will it?
Yeah, well, why isn't he here yet?
You'll just have to be patient, Mooncat.
Perhaps a story would help. Would you like me to read you a story while you're waiting?
Oh, yes, please, Pat. I'll get the storybook.
Here we go.
There we are.
Thank you. Now, let's see.
Sock it to me, Pat.
Robert the Boot is sitting on the bottom stair. He is waiting for a phone call from his grandma. Grimmond is sitting beside him. Grimmond is Robert's secret friend. No one but Robert can see him or hear him. Not even Robert's sister Maud. "I've never had a telephone call," said Grimmond. "No friend or relation has ever rung me up." And that made him very sad. And the more he thought about it, the sadder he became. He pulled his woolly hat down over his eyes and put his chin in his hands. And then he sighed. He sighed so much that Robert said, "Well, you can share the telephone call from my grandma." Grimmond said, "Thank you, but it isn't like having a telephone call of my own. Your grandma will ring up and say, 'Hello, Robert.'" Robert said, "Look, I'll ask her to say, 'Hello, Robert and Grimmond.'" "No, that isn't the same either," said Grimmond. "I want someone to ring me up and say, 'Hello, Grimmond.'" He began to sigh again. And he sighed so much that he fell off the stair and lay on the floor. "I want someone to ring me up," he said. "I want a yellow telephone with a bell that goes brink." "Oh, please get up," said Robert. But Grimmond didn't move. He just lay there as people passed up and down the hall. Robert's mother had to clean round him very carefully, which was difficult, because she couldn't see exactly where he was. Grimmond didn't move or open an eye, not even when the cleaner pulled his woolly hat off. He didn't open an eye when Robert's grandma phoned. He didn't move either when Maud wheeled her bicycle to the front door. She wheeled it very carefully even though she didn't really believe that Grimond was lying there in the hall. She pretended to see him, but Robert knew that she was just pretending because she said, "Oh, yes, I see him. I like his hat." "His hat's in the cleaner bag," shouted Robert. When evening came, Robert climbed the stairs to bed. And as he went, he thought of Grimond lying sadly in the hall. He wished that just one friend or relation would ring him up and say, "Hello, Grimond." And then, just as he was about to take off his boots, he remembered his toy telephone. It was yellow and had a bell which rang very loudly. "Oh, just the thing for Grimond," thought Robert as he got the yellow telephone out of the toy box. He gave it to Grimond, who was very pleased. Grimond carried the telephone up into the loft. "Good night, Robert. Sleep tight," he called. But it was a long time before Robert went to sleep, because Grimond got phone calls all through the night, from his sisters and his brothers and his cousins and his aunts.
When our telephone's installed, will you ring me up sometimes, Pat? I'd like to have some telephone calls of my own.
Yes, of course I will.
I wonder where the telephone engineer can be. He's very late. Perhaps I should ring up to find out if he's coming.
Don't be silly, Stephen. We can't ring him up. We haven't got a telephone yet.
Oh, no, I could ring him up from a public telephone at the post office.
Oh, yes. Can I do it?
If you like.
Hey, would you like me to stay here in case the engineer arrives when you're out?
Oh, yes, please, Pat.
We won't be long. Hold tight, Stephen. Telephone, here we come. Ding, ding. Here we are, then. Now, what do we do?
Well, the first thing we need is some money to make the call. 5p, I think it'll do, and we'll rest it in there till we need it. Right, then we pick up this part, which is called the receiver, and we listen for the dialing tone.
Yeah. I can't hear anything.
Well, it's not surprising, because you've got it the wrong way up. Look, that's the bit you speak into, and that's where you listen.
I can hear music now. It's going...
Well, that's the dialing tone. That means the phone is working, and we're ready to dial the number. Now, this is the dial, and it's got numbers all round it, just like a clock.
What's it for?
Well, every telephone has a different number. It's usually written on the front of it there. Now, when we dial the telephone engineer's number, it'll make his telephone ring.
Right. What is the number?
I think I've got it here somewhere. Yes, 74193. 7 4 1 9 3. Well done.
Now it's going burp, 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 burp.
That means that the telephone number we've just dialed is ringing.
So the telephone in the engineer's office will be going ring, ring.
Yes, and when he picks it up, you'll be able to speak to him.
Now it's going burp, 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 burp.
Oh, that means the engineer's picked up his telephone and it's time to put the money in. There we are, and then he can hear us.
Hello? Mr. Engineer? Just a minute. Stephen wants you.
Hello? This is Stephen of Mooncat and Company. We were expecting you to install a telephone today. Oh, is he? Oh, good. OK, thank you. Bye-bye.
What did he say?
He said another engineer should be at the shop right now.
Then what are we waiting for? Oh! The man said the engineer will be here now, and he's not.
I've got a surprise for you.
Ta-da!
Hey!
Yes, the engineer arrived just after you'd gone.
Well, it didn't take him long to fix it, did it?
No, well, he only had to connect it into that socket, and now he's gone outside to the telegraph pole to make sure it's connected properly there as well.
Well, thanks for letting the engineer in, Pat.
Yes, thanks, policewoman Pat.
That's all right.
Hey, don't forget to ring me, will you?
Oh, no, I won't. I've put your new telephone number in my little notebook. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. That's our telephone number, isn't it, Stephen?
Yes,
That's the number people will have to dial if they want to ring us up.
I wish somebody would ring us.
Well, Pat's the only person who's got the number. We'll have to give the number to all our other friends.
And until we do that, nobody will ring us.
Well, they can't, can they, until they've got the number?
Oh, I suppose not. Oh.
Well, never mind. Look, would you like a telephone song to cheer you up?
Oh, yes, please.
Right, magic up my guitar, then.
Oh, all right.
Oh, thank you, Mooncat. Suits you.
Yeah.
We've got a telephone, I'm glad we've got a telephone, but now we've got a telephone, no one rings. We sit by the telephone, we sit and watch the telephone, we're waiting for the telephone bell to ring. Just pick up your telephone and ring us on your telephone. It's no fun having a telephone if no one rings. We've got a telephone, I'm glad we've got a telephone, but why doesn't the telephone ring, ring, ring? Ring, 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 ring.
Oh, Stephen! Stephen, what a wonderful song! Oh, it's made the telephone ring.
Yes, will you answer it, Mooncat?
Oh, can I? Well, what shall I say?
Will you say the telephone number,
Yes.
the name of the shop,
Yes.
and then your name?
Oh, right. Here we are. Mooncat and Company, this is Mooncat speaking. Oh, right. Oh, thank you very much. Goodbye.
You forgot the telephone number.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, who was it?
Well, it was the telephone engineer, and he rang up to check that the telephone's working properly. And it is, isn't it?
Yes, our first telephone call. I wonder when we'll get another one.
Not until we tell all our friends what number to dial.
No, well, let's go and write postcards with the number on to all our friends.
Good idea, Stephen. Come on. We'll send one to Beryl.
Yes, and we'll send one to my Uncle Fred and to Kenny and to all our other friends.
Oh,
Now,
yes.
our new telephone number is...
25793.
Oh, very good.
We've got a telephone,
25793.
telephone, ring us on our telephone, ring, ring, ring.
Telephone.
It's our telephone. Quick! Wonder who it is.
Well, it's my turn to answer it, Mooncat. You answered it last time.
All right, just say the number, the name of the shop, and your name.
Yes, all right. Hello, 25793. This is Mooncat and Company, Stephen speaking. Oh, hello. Oh, all right, just a moment.
Oh,
It's for you.
oh, who is it?
Pat.
Oh, how lovely. Oh, hello, Pat, darling. Thank you very much for ringing. It's really exciting to have a telephone call all to myself. Poor old Stephen hasn't had one yet. No. Oh, it is a shame, isn't it? Oh, shall we? Oh, all right then. Pat says you can share this call.
Oh, good. Thank you, Pat. Hello, how are you? Oh, good. Oh, by the way, we've got a message for you,
Yes.
haven't we?
Yes, we have.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We've got a telephone, I'm glad we've got a telephone, and while we're on the telephone, we sing, sing, sing.
The singing telephone. You like that?